Hello YouTube, this is WarCloud FF bringing you a tutorial about heatsink swapping. Sorry for my audio, I forgot my microphone muted while I was recording. I do apologize. I'm doing a voice over for this video. Now, at the beginning I'm describing my two heatsinks that I'm swapping out between two different motherboards and CPU combos. One is an Intel 3820 original heatsink. The one in the video you see now is my Thermaltake Frio cooler, spelled F-R-I-O. I am placed now on top of my 3820K. It came originally from my AMD A6 3670K. And the cooler that you see in the picture right now is the stock heatsink from Intel. It's just a bulky hunk of metal that really doesn't do that good of a job. They still went with a a shovel cooler instead of what they use with this, because the fan's not that great and the peak pipes are great, but having it soldered to a giant block doesn't help any. And I was getting temperatures between 80 to 100 C in BIOS. Now I'm running Windows at the moment. So I am taking my Thermaltake for a 230 watt cooler and stick it in on top of my 3820K. And as you see in this video, that's what I'll be attempting. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to get my temperatures to drop down to at least the 40 or 50 range is my goal. So hopefully it works. Now, I have green rubbing alcohol. I just like the mint smell to it. It won't affect your components. It'll just add a nice scent to it. Now, I'm using paper towels and rubbing alcohol to get the old thermal paste off the 3820K i7, as you see in the video now. Stuff on there, I'm not sure if it's aftermarket or stock. It looks like it might be aftermarket. But I got this in the board I originally got was in a trade. I traded my AMD A10 7700K APU, which is a processor with a GPU on top of it, and one die. I think that's how they do it. And I traded it for this 3820K. And when I saw the heat issue, I finally figured out why the guy wanted to get rid of it, because he just couldn't keep it cool. So this is my attempt to try to reduce the temperatures that he and I experienced in this video. And after it, and trying to get all the residue off there. There's still a little bit maybe left, not actual paste, but a little residue left, which I'm not too concerned about. Others might be, but that's just not my style to worry about that. Now, with the Thermaltake Frio cooler, it has nuts in the back, which you have to unscrew. Now, the thermal paste I'm using is Noctil NTH1 compound, which I think is very good. I have a micro center like like a half an hour from my house, so getting computer stuff and thermal paste is very easy to get. Because it's a short trip up the highway, short trip back home. Now I know a lot of people won't have micro center near them, but and they don't ship either. So, well, they do ship from the website, but not from the stores, which is weird. But hey. They do share the same thing on Newegg and Amazon, so it won't be such a big deal. I'll links to this in the description of each item I'm using, so you guys can check it out. You guys want to try it for yourselves, go for it. If not, it's all good. And as you can see, I use a flathead screwdriver to get the nuts off the back plate of my Thermaltake cooler. It's not that hard. It's just 4 little nuts. Very simple to take off. Just don't lose any of them, which I am dropping one during the video. but I did find it, so it's all good. So, getting the rest of them off. Sorry for the little picture Heatsinks in my webcam. I'm using a Logitech, I think it's a C6 series. I don't even remember. Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, here it is. The records in HD 720p and autofocus, which is pretty cool. Got it for a good deal at Walmart, so I can't really complain. But as you can tell, that's the board I'm swapping out to have my AMD A6 3670K on it. It's a great processor. It's a nice little card core with a GPU to it. It works pretty darn well. Next, I'm attempting to clean the thermal compound off my Thermaltake cooler. It's a great cooler. It has 5 heat pipes, or 10 if you want to add both sides together. But they're actually the heat pipes that's on this cooler goes all the way through the CPU block from left to right, or yeah, how you want to call it as. The knockout compound is a little hard to get off, but with a little extra rubbing alcohol I had in the paper towel, it made it a lot easier to get it off. Now you may notice there's some washers on the side of that cooler, but it's nothing major. And as I'm getting the extra thermal compound out without trying to get any on my hands, because everybody knows thermal compound is very hard to get off your hands, which sucks, but it eventually does come off after washing your hands for a while. So as you see, I got most of it off. I'm going to do another wipe down just make sure I got everything. And as you saw the t-shirt I won a Marvel t-shirt. It has the picture of Avengers on it. Iron Man, Thor, Hulk. Crap. Yeah, I'm not gonna make fun of this. Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America. I don't know why I can never think of Captain America sometimes, but it's all good. It has some other characters on it, which I can't remember off the top of my head. I think. No, just the 4 Avengers. Just how the artwork is on the t-shirt makes it look like it might be more than just 4 characters. But I like it. It's a nice t-shirt. Got it from Walmart for I think $8, I think, or $5. It was on clearance, so I couldn't beat that price. As you can tell, I'm removing the brackets from the block. The block is a nickel plated block, so it's pretty nice and shiny. Kind of looks like chrome, which is an amazing look. Now I'm looking for my Intel bracket for my 2011 socket. As I'm lining up the holes and putting it in the right stance. Then screwing everything back together. And assembly that's cool. It's very, very easy. You got 4 little screws that holds the main bracket in place, 2 on each side. And with the Intel bracket that's on the motherboard that I'm using, it's really, really easy. It's an ASRock board. So the plate they have for the cooler, for the stock cooler, which is steady enough that my Thermaltake cooler fits right in the holes and there's no problem. There's actually a metal bracket in the back of the motherboard that holds everything together too, which is amazing. I don't see many stock motherboards come with this setup, but I can't really say too much because this is my first 2011 version 3 socket motherboard that I owned. So new experience comes new gang, so I can bullshit about it more. Now the fans are attached to anti-rubber grommets, which is amazing. It makes it easy to pull them off, put them back on. I am missing one grommet because I got this thing from eBay. I paid I think like $30 for it. When it first came out, it was like $70 or $80 back when it first came out. That was like, don't quote me on this. I think it's like 2008 when it first came out. Now, to clean all the dust off components of computers and laptops, I prefer to use a paintbrush because it's soft, it's stiff enough to get the dust off without damaging any components, and it makes it a lot easier to clean stuff with. And yes, you can use different sizes of paintbrushes. Also, I can use a toothbrush sometimes too, to get in the neat little tight spots that I can't reach with a paintbrush. It's a great handy tip for anybody trying to dust your computers without worrying about damaging anything. Now, right here, make sure the holes line up properly, which they do. And now I'm going to apply my thermal compound. Now, in the back, like I was telling earlier, there's a middle bracket, so I don't have to worry about installing an aftermarket bracket, which is amazing. Saves me a lot of time. Now, apply my thermal compound. I prefer, now I gotta use pale plastic as well because it likes to stick on me. I like to do 4 dots, 1 dot per corner, and then I do a plus sign in the center. So I make sure I got an even amount of thermal paste all around the GPU. That's just my preference. Sometimes I do the asterisk, or I do a pea-size amount in the center depending on the CPU I'm using and the block I'm using. With this block, I prefer to do it this way because it's a giant block for a good size, decent CPU block. So it works. Yeah, I did put the little extra thermal paste I had left over on top of the cooler. Now I line up, and then I start tightening up. To do this a little safely without like cutting your fingers on the fins, I suggest using a long neck screwdriver. And when you tighten the screws down, do a crisscross. That way you don't apply too much force to one side, and it makes it a little bit easier to install. Now, in this part, I do have to put a little pressure behind the springs to get them attached to the bracket. But I think that's normal for most Intel setups involving springs, because sometimes they can be a pain in the ass. Which is fine. It's no big deal. But anyways, as I'm making sure all the ones are tight. Now you can't really over tighten these without breaking the board. So when the board starts turning with the screwdriver, they're tight enough, and you don't have to worry about tightening them anymore. Because God forbid we break the motherboard, then we're screwed. Then we have to go out and spend whatever money we spend on that same board to get to replace. Because 9 times out of 10, the store ain't gonna take it back a cracked motherboard, especially if we did all visual damage on it. Now, if you have active Intel coverage, then you're good. If not, then well, sorry. As I get all the screws tightened, as you can tell, the motherboard's turned, so it's tight enough. I can fit the whole motherboard by the heatsink, which is pretty cool considering how big it is. I think the thing weighs like 680 grams. Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure that's how heavy it is. Now, you can decide which way you want to put the wires up for the fans. Me, I do both ways. Because in my case, I'm using my other Thermaltake cooler in. Same exact cooler on my i7 4770K. I have the speed control switches hanging outside my water cooling holes because it makes it easier for me to get to. I usually crank them with the max. You notice it's not that loud at max either. It's not like a GPU fan revving up. And that's if I'm doing like heavy video processing or gaming in a hot room, which my room is in the attic, so it gets hot and cold depending on what it is outside, which sucks. Or if I'm overclocking, just to see how far I can go. So I decided to, since I was using the second Thermaltake cooler that I'm installing now on my test bench for every CPU I tested if I put into use, I figured since the CPU is getting super hot, I don't have an extra cooler laying around my house at the moment. I'm just going to go and take this off my test bench and put it on this combo. And as you tell, the entire damper grommets are easy to install through the fan. You just line up the hole, pull until the fan sits closely against the fins, and you're done. This takes me a few moments because one part didn't want to line up too well, which happens. I'm sure everybody experiences this a couple of times. Now, once I get this loaded up, I'll get out my power supply, wires, and monitor, and hook it up. On this guy has a power button on the corner. Now, my idiot self forgot that I put the fan on the first time the wrong way. I had it blowing in both directions instead of blowing out like a slipstream. So that's the reason I had to take the fan back off again to put it back on, because I wasn't paying much attention. I am experienced in doing this stuff. I do it for a hobby and for friends and family all the time. Just my first time making a video about this, I was a little nervous and excited at the same time, so I made a few mistakes. I do apologize for it, but as you can tell, it was an easy fix to put. I had to tighten this little grommet down a little bit more, and now it's done. Now hit the fans to the fan ports, which I found out later on they didn't work at all. So I had to find other fan ports on the motherboard to use, and I used a more like 3-pin connector for fan to actually get the fans to work, which is a letdown. But I'm pretty sure the board still has like a year or two left of warranty, so I'm not too worried about it. So if anything does happen, I can always return it back and get a replacement. So it's all good. Now, as you see me looking over, I'm going my EVGA 850 watt power supply modular. It's an 80 gold efficiency power supply. I got that with the trade as well. I traded a 600 watt Corsair modular power supply, CX600M. So it worked. I mean, it's a gain. I'm not complaining about the gain. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he gave me all the wires. If not, I can always get a cable mod kit from Micro Center for like $3. Has all my cables, so it's not that big of a deal. But let's get everything connected. I know it's weird me setting this up on a desk like this, but you really don't have to worry about mounting stuff too much, providing you have stuff available to you. You won't shock yourself unless you hook the wires up wrong. Me, I set my motherboard on top of a box. Now my Pokemon mug came in. So I hook up my video card. It's a GT 9500 Galaxy card. It's not a high-end video card, but it works. And it's easy, and I use this to test motherboards out that does not have onboard video, or just test the PCI Express slots out. So I'll pop that in there. I had a little trouble because I didn't know the locking mechanism on this ASRock board has a sliding mechanism in it, which at the very end of the PCI Express slot, you can slide a little clip back and forth to lock your video card in, or to block your video card from getting installed, which I did not know about. I'm always used to the snap-on ones, but oh, it's something new I learned, which is cool. Use that for future builds if I run into any boards like that again. Now I'm grabbing my monitor hookup. I have a nice 20-inch BenQ monitor on my floor. That I should use to test stuff with. It makes it easy to do everything. I mean, you got it from a thrift store for like $5. Like, can't complain. It works. It has DVI, VGA output. I mean, what more do you want for $5? Now I turn this on. And I had to make sure everything was on, and then I hit the power switch, and it worked. Now I load up the BIOS, and I'll take the camera down so you guys can see it in a few moments here. Gotta make sure all the things are working. Minus the fans, as I didn't know at the time of the video that it wasn't running. And I was still amazed at the temperature drop of the aftermarket cooler versus the stock. So it actually worked out pretty well. Now, I'm looking at my BenQ monitor, getting the BIOS, getting to the hardware monitor side of the BIOS. And now I'm about to take my webcam and give you guys an idea. I see in the back of my room, it's kind of messy. I have a lot of action figures, games, and miscellaneous stuff all around the floor. Now, it's turned on autofocus. I used to have the CPU temperature is 49.5 without the fans running, which is amazing. When the fans are running, it dropped down to 2C, which is even better, and it didn't go up at all. Now later I'll make another video showing you guys the benchmarks of everything and make sure everything's running properly. This is RollCloud FF. Have a good night. Bye everybody.